Lori from Madison Avenue Bookkeeping, and in this video I'm going to show you how to import a list of insurance companies whom you accept for your private practice. All right, let's get started. So this piece is very specific to anyone that's taking insurance, and or I'll also show you the other piece to this. But again, you cannot put any patient names in your QuickBooks, but I would consider any deposits that are posted that specify a specific insurance company, you should notate and also code out. So I'll explain what I mean by that. But what I want you to do is go through your bank statements and look at what does it say in the bank detail of the deposits, okay? Another thing I would put in here is maybe like Stripe credit card deposits or any type of, so like Stripe usually is with Simple Practice and so forth. So you want to try and kind of decide and break out. I say you should always break out if you're taking insurance, the difference between maybe your credit card processing where you really can't tell who it is, right? But you could go back later and look it up. And things like self-pay or copay. You want to try the difference. The self-pay is when someone's paying a full amount and maybe they are sending you electronically something where it's very easy for you to tell that that was for a single session and it's a completely self-pay, no insurance involved. And then you have, if you're mostly taking insurance and you're getting small amounts from the patients, that would be the copay. So just trying to be able to look at your books later, it's better to plan ahead and be put in this level of detail. Now, regarding income, I like to be very detailed. Regarding expenses, I think it's a little silly to be segmenting every little expense. To plan and to make, to be profitable, you always need to be knowing how much money is coming in and from where. And that way, if your QuickBooks is this detailed, you can then take that data and compare it to your practice billing software. They should coincide well if your practice billing software is posted correctly on a cash basis. So you might bill $10,000 for the month, but you may have to wait 30 days for that. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so the best way to set up your QuickBooks is not to do things on the fly. It's best to have your credit card statements, have your bank statements, and understand who are your vendors, who are your customers, and get all of that set up, just like we already just set up your chart of accounts. We've got your categories, which is your chart of accounts. Now we're going to import what we call the customers, right? Which is not any patient name. It's basically these descriptions here, such as self-pay, copay, a credit card processing, and or names of insurance. So what you should do is, if you don't have Excel, you can use a Google Sheet. It's free. You just have to create a Gmail account. And now I have listed some well-known insurance companies and so forth. And now I'm going to show you how to download this and import it into your QuickBooks. So I'm going to say File, Download. CSV usually works best. Now look, I'm in accounting. So if I click here, Customer Hub, and I click Customers, I'm not going to bookmark that. You don't usually use that much. And here we have it, Import Customers. I'm going to say Browse. I don't like to select the Google Sheet, then you're like linking it to your Google account. Okay, so it's been selected. Oh, look, I messed something up. I need to have on the top. So this is good. All we're going to do is do name. So I'm going to re-download that. because you need to have a header. So we're just going to import the name. You're not going to be doing your billing out of here, so you don't need any of these other things. So now it's going to import the 21 names. Okay, so now we have the insurance companies and anything else we're trying to kind of segregate regarding income. We have the customer name, because when we get further down the road and I teach you how to post deposits, you will want to put in the quote unquote customer name, not patient name. The other thing we want to do, let's go back up to our bookmark where we have our chart of accounts. And I'm going to go down to the equity, the income, I mean. So you have insurance income, and then we have copay and self-pay. So I would like to put all the names of the insurance income, a subcategory of that, so that you could look into and understand how much is being actually deposited into your bank account on specific income codes. I speak with people often when I do QuickBooks coaching and I'm helping them, or they're just calling, trying to understand how bookkeeping works. And they find out that their biller hasn't billed or all the claims haven't been resubmitted, and suddenly they have no money coming in. They're really not sure what is and isn't. So if you have this set up, you will then be able to look yourself and compare it to what your billing is saying. So it's, to me, if you're accepting insurance, it's critical that you also subcategorize the insurance income portion. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So over here is the list, right, of what we have. Now, I already saw in our chart of accounts that we had this copay, self-pay. I'm just going to take those out. So now we have these names and then a credit card deposit. So I'm going to copy these. Now, mind you, we have a chart of accounts. It's going to be linked below, and this is what it looks like in Excel. This is what we imported earlier. So, but you have to come up with your insurance companies. I don't want you importing a list of insurance companies that you don't accept insurance from. And across, countrywide, there's different Blue Cross, Blue Shield, that's specific. Like in New York, we have Empire Plan. So you really need to go through your bank account, and I would name them and create the list really almost straight off your bank account so that it's easy for QuickBooks to automate and post these things. Okay, so let's go over here. So we're doing account name. So what we're trying to do is create an income code that sounds the same as these. So I'm going to copy those. If you're in a Google Sheet, if you do a CSV, it'll only do the one page. Okay, so now we have that. Now let's look. Type is going to be income, but it's better to copy and paste it straight off of our. So I'm going to say income. And then, oh, my detail type, we're going to pick that as well. So I'm going to pick copy. Description, I don't really think you should put anything in there. I think it's self. The one thing you can add is United Healthcare. You could say insurance income, if it just makes it easier for you to follow. So I'm going to pause and I'm going to put insurance income in all of these just to make it a little easier. Okay, so now I have insurance as part of this. So I'm going to say file, download, and if I pick CSV, it's going to do this sheet, I believe. Okay, and look, it named it the name of this tab. Okay. So I'm going to drop this down. I'm in the chart of accounts. I'm saying import. So we don't have an account number, so that's fine. So we're going to say next. There will be one more step after this, but I'll show you what to do in a minute because I can't sub it here. Okay, so now we got our income codes in, right? But I want to put all of the ones that are health insurance subbed under the health insurance code. So you're going to need to go now one by one. But again, this is still so much easier than hand typing all of this. You're going to click here, make this a sub account. Wait, it's insurance income. So now I'm going to make that a sub. So you can see here, it's getting indented. I'm going to do one more and then I'll pause and come back. So here's Empire Plan. I'm clicking to the right. I'm clicking edit. I'm saying make this a sub account. I'm typing in insurance to bring it up. Then I'm clicking save. I'm going to go get the rest of my insurance company income in the sub account. Okay, so now if we go down to the income section, you'll see that we have a header, and that because these names are indented, that means it's a sub account of insurance income. Then we have copay and self-pay income. Then we have all of our insurance companies, which will match when Cigna comes in. We are going to pick Cigna Healthcare Insurance Income as a correlating income code. You'll see more what I mean later. We do have a section for refunds. Now, refunds will show up on your profit and loss as a negative account, and that's where you want to see if you're giving money back. You want to see how much. You don't want it buried in your normal income. You want to see this much came in and this much was sent out as a refund. I have here Stripe credit card deposit, and I somehow messed that up. So this is when it's good to fix that. I don't want it to say, oh, that's when I was copying and pasting into those accounts. So I screwed that up. So we say save. So that will mostly be, hopefully if you're accepting insurance payments, that you're doing so electronically and you're not remote check depositing, because then you're going to have to go through every deposit and figure out how much was copay, how much was insurance. So I highly recommend making sure that is done. Now, if your billing is done, the only thing that gets tricky is if the insurance companies send you those credit cards that are like a one-time credit card payment, that's going to end up in your Stripe piece. So then I would, if you were posting some of those, I would want to break that out, like how much was that of other items, and not have it all say Stripe credit card processing. That just, it is important you do that. Try and always break out your income completely. It just helps so much to check against your biller later on.